Okay, welcome, Laker fans. You are looking at the Purple Blood Lakers podcast, a podcast by Lakers fans for Lakers fans. We're going to be talking about the Phoenix game, game two of this so far wonderful season. And why don't you go ahead and start it off, Donna?
Well, good evening, everybody. Great game. It was I would say a tale of two halves. First half was horrible. Second half looked like a new team. And so we were playing horrible defense in the first half, turnovers leading to fast breaks, leading to fast break threes, because they're a three-point shooting team. And they play a really fast pace. I don't remember them playing as fast as they do this year, but they play a very, very fast pace. So I was a little nervous. We got down big, but I think it was a good test for JJ and the coaching staff. I was really interested to see once we got down by 22 what adjustments we were going to make, if we were going to just give up and just let this game pass or not. And I just watched them make the adjustments because one thing, D'Lo was getting cooked in that first quarter by Durant. They were doing the switch and they were hunting D'Lo, and D'Lo ended up on Durant every time, and he was just cooking him. So I watched them make the adjustments through the game, and the game turned around, and it ended up being a really good game for us. So I think that was a big test for us against a good team coming back from a big lead, little by little, and not trying to get it back all at once, but following the game plan, the adjustments, and so I was happy with the win.
What I liked about this game was in the midst of pretty serious adversity. I think they were down by 22 in the second quarter. They never really deviated from the plan, in my opinion. I thought everybody stayed within the plan, and I worry about Brian when he starts playing hero ball and when he starts playing point guard and things like that. But um, that hasn't been a bad thing for us. And it didn't turn out to be that way in this game either. What I noticed in the first half, we rarely played more than three starters. The bench got a lot of run in that first half. And we still, we're kind of in it. I think, 55, 35 was one moment that I noticed. And Reeves to Davis is becoming a real thing in the NBA.
Yep.
And some of them are turnovers. There's some thread the needle type passing that D'Lo and Reeves are both doing. Bron even did a couple of those where we're just really trying too hard to get the ball into the cutter in the middle. Um,
Mhm.
but it seems like JJ doesn't react to those. It seems like he's got the patience that I think a good coach needs to have to be able to say, you're trying to do what I asked you to do. Sometimes the defense picks up on it, and we just have to keep playing. But we kept going to those plays, and they were winning plays for us before it was over. We got a heck of a lot of playoffs off cuts and assists, and I liked it. Um, Vincent was also on AD, and so in the first half, to your point, in addition to D'Lo, and neither of those two things are going to lead to very good things for us. He's a unique player, you know, and so I think in the second half we came out with a better plan. One thing I noticed in the second half was D'Lo to the hole.
Mhm.
D'Lo to the hole is wonderful for us. I think he's got to get some layups before he starts hitting threes.
True.
And uh, let's see. The other thing was there were twice in a row. James penetrated and dished, and in one case we swung and then got it to AR for a three. In the other case, he just kicked it to AR for a three. But those were back-to-back plays with Bron driving to the hole. Um, um, and then there's another play in the second half. Again, AR to AD that was extremely close. And it's
Mhm.
nice to see our team have confidence in those interior passes. You're going to lose some of those, but when you do win, it really, really looks good. Even when we didn't get offensive rebounds, we were tapping the ball around and and
We
and
were.
and disrupting their rebounding, and that gave us time to get back. So, I started off this in our introductory podcast talking about offensive rebounds kind of being a losing proposition because I mean you missed the shot and you're out of position. But we figured out a way to go after offensive rebounds fairly aggressively while still getting back. And
Hmm.
you have to credit the coach for that. So overall, it was a good game,
Yep.
and I wasn't as negative as you in the first half. Um, I thought we were playing decent ball, and they were just hitting shots like crazy. I just thought our schemes were good throughout the whole game, and I was impressed with the way the team is responding to the coaching, the
Yep.
enthusiasm around the offense, and the fact that the ball doesn't get stuck anymore. There are
Hmm.
times when, and I think this is natural in the NBA, if you've got a player like Brown with 6 seconds left on the clock, don't go crowding the lane, running the offense. Get out of the way and let this man
Right.
do what he does. And so I think those things make sense. But for the most part, the ball was moving, the ball was moving, the players were moving, loved it.
Loved it. Me too. Love the game. Love the whole. You had to watch the whole game to me to really love it. But I think Brian had the ball a little bit more because if you notice, D'Lo was out of the game a lot. Vincent played a lot in that game, and he sat D'Lo down because, of course, he was getting cooked on defense, but offensively he wasn't on either. And so I think LeBron had to play a little bit more point guard in that game, maybe than he will in other games when D'Lo is in and hitting and really running the offense. Um, but I love they didn't look panicked. That's what I like. They didn't look panicked. They looked like, okay, we have a game plan. Yeah, they're hitting some shots, but we're going to continue what we're doing and this is going to work and we're going to be okay. I didn't see any crazy shots going up or somebody trying to deviate from the game plan. It seemed like they were calm, cool, and collective. And so I
I
really
thought
like
so.
that.
I thought so too, with one exception. D'Lo seemed to want to go after their point guard, their new point guard. You know who
Tyus,
this dude, yeah. And he went one on one with him one time and missed a shot, and I thought that was some personality business, and maybe hearing that guy talked about as such a great point guard or something messed with D'Lo or whatever, but it didn't last long. It seemed like he got out of it as soon as he got into it, and
yep,
but that was one moment where I was like, okay, D'Lo, don't do this, man. You are coming into this season. After that first game, I think we both were a little disappointed in him, but everybody else played so well that you
yep,
almost didn't notice it. But I thought in the second game, especially penetrating, he was really starting to look good, and then I thought that was a little bit of a regression to the selfish D'Lo, and then he came right back out of it and kept playing well. Again, like you're saying, while he was in there, I think in the second half, Bron kind of went nuts,
yep,
and with D'Lo on the bench.
yep.
Yeah. So I guess for that game, there wasn't as much to talk about. We don't have to take up the whole time. We can do a short one. Uh,
AR, your boy AR,
I mean, I'm gonna stop talking about him because I don't want to jinx it. The man is playing all over the floor
all over.
like an NBA pro.
Yes,
Whatever was happening last year, we can call it coaching, call it whatever you want.
right.
It's not happening this year. This
No.
this guy is playing excellent basketball. His mistakes are good mistakes.
Yes.
Like I said, he's forcing the ball in,
Yeah.
but he's forcing it into um, the flow of the offense. I think
Yep.
JJ wants those tight passes.
Yep.
You may not catch it, but if you do, it's a finger roll type stuff, and
Hmm.
and he's playing that way, and I got no problem with it at all.
None.
Yeah, yeah,
I remember in the last episode, I talked about how I thought AR was kind of going to be that 15 to 17 point scorer, but man, he went for 26 and he hit almost all of his shots. I mean, he was so efficient. He was everywhere. He was passing. He was offensive rebounding again. And he was just everywhere. I mean, he looked so confident this year, so just ready to really show all of his games. So I was really excited. I was just hollering the whole game, AR, AR. I mean, he was just everywhere. And again, the connection between him and AD is just becoming a thing.
it's becoming a thing,
Hmm.
and him and Bron, that started his rookie season.
Right,
And that continues. And Bron's got so much confidence in him, and now he deserves it because
right.
when he gets the kick out, he's not even thinking about it. He's hitting
Nope.
that shot.
Right.
he's also ending up the guy with the ball with 4 seconds left,
Right.
launching threes from 4 feet past the. I'm
Right.
like, don't get
Yep.
don't get ahead of yourself, Austin. Come on,
Yep.
man. So
Yep.
yeah, yeah. Thanks for mentioning that. I'm glad you're the one that mentioned it. I don't want to become a Austin you know, um I don't want to, be biased towards him, but I really like that player, and
Oh yeah.
he's showing up as one of those Lakers you can root for. And they want him to be number three, but I think many times in this season, if he keeps playing like this, he's going to be the number two scorer on this team.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. I think he feels that he's not like looking like you said when it was like 4 or 5 seconds left. He used to like look for LeBron or somebody to pass it to. Man, he just launches that three now and it's like money. So every time he puts it up now, I'm looking like money. Yeah. So he was very impressive in that game. I just love the confidence. It's what confidence can do for you. I mean, when your coach gives you confidence to go out there and do your thing. And he's a smart player, so he really doesn't make bad mistakes. So he was just fantastic in that game.
His energy is good throughout the game. He's ready for his 39 minutes. He's gonna
Yep.
hit the wall, but so is Braun and AD.
Yes, right.
So he's a starter now, and I'm really happy for him. I'm happy for the Lakers that we stuck with him, and it seems like this is the payoff year.
Yep. Yep. What is this? His fourth season?
That sounds right.
Yeah. They usually say your third or fourth season is really when the rookies, you can really see if their game is going to blossom as a pro or they're like out. I guess that's why they give those 3, 4 year contracts to rookies
Hmm.
because they say in that third year, if they don't begin to blossom around that third year, then more than likely they're not going to be that guy that you may have thought he was when you drafted him. So this is his fourth year. He's had what, three different coaches?
Yeah, he started under Vogel.
Yeah. So this is his third coach. And so he seems to be thriving under JJ. And JJ probably sees a lot of himself in him a little bit. He's not like a shooter, but he's a hard worker. He's really smart, high basketball IQ. He's not the quickest, but he understands angles. He understands where to be on the floor. And he's thriving. So I'm excited about it. We need him to thrive. We
We
definitely
do.
need him to be that third guy consistently.
Yep.
Yeah.
And passing lanes.
Yep.
That was what got oh our defensive 6'8" guard that can't hardly make a layup.
Reddish.
Reddish. Reddish got on the court because he was able to anticipate passing lanes. And he's so long, he could do something.
Yes.
Our team is inside of the other team's offense now. And we have gotten so many steals off of
Yes.
just normal passes out to the wing from the top of the key. And when they get in trouble and need somewhere to go, we got multiple players that are filling those lanes. Rui is getting
Oh,
steals.
Rui is.
D'Lo is getting steals. Let's
Yes.
talk about D'Lo's defense.
I know.
It's not as bad as we think it is.
No, it's just he gets, like you said, hung up on the screens when they switched, like they were switching early and they were hunting him and they were switching with Durant and he was on Durant, even though he kept trying on Durant, but he can't guard Durant. Durant was just rising up above him and shooting, but at least he was trying. He wasn't giving up. He was trying to on that switch and they finally fixed the defense that switch wasn't happening anymore. But he's trying on defense. He's getting into passing lanes, anticipating. So I'm happy with the way he's playing on defense as far as his hustle and his attention to detail. He doesn't seem to be getting lost when the ball's on the other side of the floor. He's not wandering, looking around. He seems to not lose his man as much as he used to. So hopefully that will continue and his offense will pick up. I'm not worried about his offense. He's a shooter, he's a scorer. His offense will come around. I'm glad that he's kind of focusing on passing and defense right now. So I think he'll be fine.
Yep. All
And
right.
our threes, we hit like 15, 14 threes in that game. Our threes came alive. Game
Yeah.
one, we couldn't hit a thing, but game two, our threes came alive. So that
Let me,
was real helpful in the comeback.
let me pull up some stats because I want to say D'Lo's coming alive from 3-point land. But let me make sure I'm right about that.
No, I don't think he had a really good game. He sat a lot in the second half, but I don't think his threes were. I think he might have hit one, maybe.
From the corner.
Yeah, I can't remember,
Let's see.
but it was still suffering a little bit. But
Stats say.
he was
So
looking for it. He was looking for his offense. He just wasn't hitting. He wasn't shying away, but he still wasn't that D-Lo that hits those two or three threes a game in a row, kind of get us going. He didn't have that kind of game, but
no, and if he's going to have those kind of games, he better hurry up because this Laker team is going to, prove itself, prove him unnecessary if he doesn't watch it.
right. But one thing, when he was out of the game, Austin does take up that point guard spot. Even though they bring Vincent in, he's not a creator or whatever. He just plays defense and can hit a three. But the offense was put in the hands of AR pretty much that whole game, and so he was able to pick up that point guard role when D'Lo wasn't in the game. So I think we're good if D'Lo doesn't have a good game, that AR can come in and at least pick up the offense, get people the ball, get creative. Where Vincent is kind of a defensive guard that can come in and help on defense, hit a three every so often, get to the basket, but he's not a creator type of a point guard. So having AR in there is going to be big.
So far, Vincent and D'Angelo are pretty much having the same impact on the team, which is not that much.
Zero.
So I'm looking at
Right.
D'Angelo. You're right. He only hit one three. He only took three. But he did get 5 assists, 2 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block. I think that block was really special. It was on maybe I forget whose shot he blocked, but it was him playing tough defense, standing in. So
Yep.
so yeah. But you're right, Austin went nuts. 5 for 7 from three.
Yeah. He was a killer.
Yeah.
He was the man. He and AD, of course, had another 30 plus game, but Austin, you could just see him all over the floor. You could just see him. He just made impacts on all levels of the game. And
It was kind of like Rui in the first game. You just, every time something happened, it was like, is that Rui again?
right, right.
Yeah.
And Rui was steady again.
He was steady.
Steady Rui. Yeah, he
7
was great.
rebounds. A couple of those rebounds he took away from AD.
Right, he did.
He might not
But
want to do that too often.
right. But you can tell he's focusing on it. The coach was like, we need you to rebound, Rui, way back in the summer. And you can see that he's really taken that to heart and he's on those boards. So it's great. And he gets a lot of offensive ones, or he's tipping things. He's under
Two
there.
offensive and lots of disruptions. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's
Yeah.
doing he really took that to heart, and I'm happy because that gets him, more involved in the game.
And Dalton hit 2 of his threes out of 4.
My guy, I'm telling you, that kid is a baller. He comes in, instant impact,
Yep.
instant.
Yep.
You know, my boy
Christie,
Christie still
that's the guy. I mean, he hit one
suffering.
three, and that's the only shot he took. He got 3 rebounds. Not much else happening.
Yeah,
Before we leave, Gabe, 3 steals worth
yeah,
mentioning.
yeah,
Also 3 steals for Austin. Just like I said, crowding those passing lanes.
yeah.
Um, so anything else? I'm just looking at the stats. Anything else worth noting? I think we covered everything. So let's get moving to um what we can expect in this next game against the Kings. This is the Kings featuring a new DeRozan to replace um,
Harrison Barnes.
Harrison Barnes, who used to kind of hurt us as
Yes, he did.
a guy that didn't do much else in the league.
Right.
He seemed to really
Kill
come
us.
alive against the Lakers.
Yes, he did. Always. I didn't
Yeah.
understand it. We have to contain De'Aaron Fox. He kills us. He lights us up from three. He gets in the lane. He just kills us every time we play. I mean, in the 30s, sometime 40. So we have to contain him. He's probably going to get 20 something points, but we can't let him just be 30 something points, 10 assists, steals, just all over the place. We have to contain De'Aaron Fox. He is the key to he's ahead of their snake. So
Does
got
Monk
to.
is Monk mad at us? why is he so great when he plays the Lakers? He's a great player against everybody,
I know.
but he's just so intensely great against us.
Yeah, I think well, we couldn't pay him that year. So I know he went and got a little bit more money. We couldn't pay him, but we did give him the opportunity when no one else did. I mean, he was almost out of the league when we gave
True.
him that contract that year. So we didn't put him in the spotlight. LA, even though we didn't win a lot that year, he was in the LA spotlight on TV a lot and helped him get that contract. So he's just good. We have nobody to really guard him, to really be honest, at the two spot. We don't really have a defensive stopper at the two the past couple of years to be able to put hands on him. He kills us. Him and De'Aaron Fox, their backcourt always kills us. And Sabonis. So
Sabonis
hopefully
has
AD can not contain Sabonis, but just either match his aggressiveness, his energy, and just play against Sabonis. Sabonis kills him. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. I like Sabonis, but he shouldn't kill AD the way he does. So hopefully AD takes that personally.
he's an example of what I want more from AD, which is he goes to the hole hard.
Hard,
And that
hard.
creates things
Yeah,
even for his teammates. And
yeah,
then they're who's this? The third year for Murray? Second year, third
yeah.
year?
I think it's Murray's third year.
Okay. That guy has been steadily coming.
Yes,
So I'm wondering what he's gonna do this year. He's special.
yeah. And they kill us from the 3-point line. We don't.
They got a shooter that's unstoppable.
Yeah,
Huerter?
yeah. The
Yeah.
redheaded white boy.
Yeah, they
Hmm.
got a nickname for him, Red Velvet.
So their 3-point just kills us.
Yeah.
It's just like hopefully I've noticed in the first two games we're running players off the 3-point line and things like that. So hopefully we do the same thing with Sacramento and run them off and make them make plays, make them kick out, and just quit giving them uncontested threes because they will knock them down. I mean, everybody on their team shoots threes. I
Yes.
mean, everybody that comes in, DeRozan's going to add a different dimension to their game, that 2-point game. But so it'll be interesting to see them. But I'm excited. It's a back to back. We had to play hard in this game to come back from 22,
Yeah.
but hopefully we can continue what we're doing and be ready for Sacramento because they've beaten us like 7 out of the last 8 games the last 2 years. I mean, when does Sacramento beat LA? They used to be our brothers that we killed. So for them to be beating us now, it's like it just don't sound right. It don't sound good. None of that. So we got to correct that and
Yeah.
get back on the winning side with them.
It'd be different if they were going on to do great things after they beat us
Yes,
like this, but they're like average in the West.
right. They
Yeah.
lose in the first round every time in the playoffs. So how do they just keep beating us continuously?
Hmm.
So we have to change that because that shouldn't be happening. They're good. They're upcoming young team, but they shouldn't be dominating us at home and in SAC for two
I think
years straight.
I think Monk is mad at us, and I think Coach Brown is mad at us.
Oh, he should be mad at us.
Yeah.
And Fox is probably mad at us too. Remember, we didn't draft him. We drafted Lonzo, and everybody said we should have drafted Fox that
I
year.
just now remembered that. That was a big deal that
That was
year.
a big deal.
And he started killing us then. You're right.
Yes. 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 And he's never let us forget that we should have drafted him. I think he went 5 and Lonzo went 2. And everybody said the Lakers should have drafted Fox. He killed him. Remember when UCLA played Kentucky in that one game and Fox killed Lonzo, but yet we still drafted Lonzo. And
Hmm.
we've never heard the last of that. We could have De'Aaron Fox today um, as our point guard.
But I
But
still I agreed with the pick, and
I did too.
I feel like if you take away the injuries, and Lonzo is a different kind of cat.
I know.
He those length of court passes. Um, I feel like Bron picked up a little bit of Lonzo's
Yep.
from playing with him.
Hmm.
Kind of a ridiculous thing to say, but I don't remember him being so forward with the ball and
Yeah.
unselfish on fast breaks until watching Lonzo just open up the Lakers offense with just pinpoint long passes. He just has He's got a football arm when it comes to throwing that basketball.
Yeah.
Um,
He's We'll see how he does this year. What happens? I think he'll be a free agent. What happens if he has a good year? Will we look at him next year?
I think we can't take any more injury-prone players. I think that
I
I don't want
agree.
Levine. I don't want Lonzo. As long as
On a
AD,
minimum, cheap deal
you take anybody of that
next year.
caliber on a minimum, absolutely. That's just business. Yeah, you
But
would.
I don't want to. I don't want to deal with LeVar Ball though. I don't want all of that and the
I
Lakers
thought
bringing
he's
him
gone
back.
away.
And huh?
I thought he's gone away.
Well, he's his boy's down in Charlotte. That's the only boy really that he has. Well, Lonzo's coming back this year, but if Lonzo was to come back here, we'd have to hear his voice all over again.
No, that's sad that he's done that to the fans to where they don't want to be bothered with him. That's all that
No,
is.
I don't want to hear all that. Oh, the Lakers shouldn't have never traded him. See, and I just don't feel like all the LeVar stuff.
No, it was ugly then. It was terrible.
Yeah,
It was
it was
terrible.
those ball shoes to me that messed up his feet.
Could have been.
He even mentioned it. He said, I watch his. He has a podcast with his brother Giangelo, um, and he talked about those shoes and how he had to change them every day at halftime because they would fall apart. And the shoes weren't ready. I mean, he talks about it now, but of course he didn't talk about it then. But I think that might have messed up his ankle back then that led to these injuries because those shoes weren't ready. And he said he had to change them every halftime. They'd fall apart the first half of
Does,
the game.
does his brother wear them?
No, his brother's with Puma. He's
Oh,
been with Puma, yeah.
okay.
He's killing this year again. So if he can stay healthy, that boy is ridiculous when he stays healthy. So, but he wears Pumas. He's always been with Puma. Um, so we'll see. But ready for sack.
Ready for sack. Let's go, Lakers.
Let's go.
Okay, so you have just witnessed the third podcast from Purple Blood, um, a podcast about basketball for Laker fans by Laker fans. We'll see you next time.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.